Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome, everyone. My name is Dale Edwards. I'm going to help moderate today's session along with my co-host and colleague who will be presenting to you today. Joining me, of course, are a few of my very senior colleagues who are all panelists, either in an academic capacity or in an operations capacity. Today, for us in Trinity College London, India, it's an exceedingly exceptional day for us because this is the very first of our series of webinars that we'll be working towards to help build the community of teachers that Trinity has had over the years across the world. So to kind of set the ball rolling for today's webinar, it's about teaching conversational English using a stepped progressive 12-graded syllabus. We refer to that as the graded exams and spoken English. That's the syllabus that we talk of. But it's beyond just talking about a particular exam. In fact, today as teachers, we're going to be talking and exploring about various techniques, teaching tips, and that's what we really want the focus of all of our webinars to be. It's about teachers helping and embracing the teaching community to build upon and to deliver best teaching practices, best teaching methods. In so many ways, this last few months have already seen a sea change for teachers, because not only did we have to develop the resources for deployment in our classrooms, but now all of a sudden we had to become tech gurus. So kudos to all of us who've been able to do it. And in our webinars going forward, we will also get into some of those techniques and tools that we can use for online teaching. As we go forward, the importance of setting the tone for all these webinars is because Trinity's subjects, whether it's the English language, whether it's speech and drama or communication skills or acting, they all dovetail into one another and help form a very rigorous construct of skills that young learners and adult learners need to be academically, socially, and professionally relevant in a world that keeps changing and keeps reinventing pretty much every few years. So on that note, I'm going to welcome my colleague, Joyce DeCuna, who will take you through this entire webinar, and I will connect back with you at the end of this. So please sit back, relax, ask your questions, and this will be the first of many, many more occasions that we will have a chance to share a forum.
Hello, teachers. It's so good to be here today on a common platform. Trinity College London has always desired to reach out to teachers and share new ideas, new perspectives, new opportunities. This lockdown has given us an opportunity to speed up the process for going online. This has happened a few years ago to include newer techniques to have a clearer vision. Knowing and being passionate about our goals will dramatically improve our productivity. Today is a step in that direction. I want to take you on a journey to share ideas, thoughts, to assist you personally on your journey as a teacher. I'm aware there are many very experienced teachers here, but since we are beginning anew, I thought it opportune to start at the very beginning. So today, as we set the tone for a subject and a pathway to teaching conversational English, in a short time, there'll be multiple trajectories for teachers at different levels. I'm one of a team of teachers who'll be steering you. So, baby steps today, and a very warm welcome to all of you. So they say, knowing only our mother tongue will set us in a corridor for life. But knowing English will open every door along the way. So being complacent will keep you from your destiny. As teachers, for each of us, our greatest monument on earth would be what we build with the lives we touch. Around the world, from government to business leaders, economists, teachers, parents, pediatricians are all asking the same question. What skills will our children need to succeed? They think we have the answer. Do we? Well, Trinity College London believes that effective communicative and performance skills are life enhancing, know no bounds, and are reachable to all. We exist to promote and foster the best possible communicative and performance skills through assessment, content, training, and we use very innovative, personal, and authentic methods. The world of education is ever changing, and as educators, it's imperative that we prepare our children for their future. A future that demands that they be proficient not only in their academic subjects, but complement the knowledge with the world view, with world skills, life skills, which are commonly known as 21st century skills. Now we have a holistic pathway ready for you here. Please have a look at it. It will be very useful for teachers. The best way to prepare our children with these 21st century skills is realize that it revolves around 4 key areas of development. We have confidence, language skills, transferable skills, and study strategies. There's another holistic pathway. These skills are developed by the various subjects at various stages in a learner's life. In subsequent webinars, we will be discussing all these subjects and separately. Today, though, I will be touching upon the importance of developing conversational skill English in the context, learning and teaching with respect to the graded exams in spoken English syllabus, commonly known as the GESE syllabus. So today, let's explore some of the 21st century skills. When we summarize them and categorize them under 4 headings, we get creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and communication. We are all aware of this. I'd like to give you an example, a real life example, which illustrates the use of these skills. The students of class 1B were asked to draw an elephant. Sujata Mitra has drawn her elephant. Now, as teachers, would you accept this as the drawing of the elephant? Well, Sujata's teacher asked her for an explanation, and this is what she said. My elephant is hiding behind the wall. Was she able to communicate her thoughts? Certainly. In fact, she used creativity and innovation to deal with the situation. Was there an element of individual development? Yes. She didn't feel stifled because she couldn't draw the entire elephant. She used her imagination and critical thinking to sort it out, to deal with it. This is what we need to teach our children. Your life will move in the direction of your words. The choice of your words will reflect the quality of your thoughts. So choose wisely. Words can heal. Words can hurt. Words, when said and articulated right, can change someone's mind, can even inspire a nation. Isn't that what we all want? Words have power. Words are power. Words could be your power. In the words of Margaret Mead, our children must be taught how to think, not what to think. And Trinity plays a part here. Trinity College London is the only examining body in the entire world that builds and assesses real life communication and performance. These exams open the world for you, from job opportunities to being able to communicate with anyone in any country. Learning English is very important to improve the quality of your life. Education improves you, but learning English improves the quality of your life. Every next level of my life will demand a different version of me. I'm sure you'll all agree with the statement. One needs to cultivate an innovative mindset. This demands out-of-the-box thinking and challenging the status quo. As a result, you embark on a journey of discovery and achievement. Innovation has the ability to create and initiate change. Hence, we can rightly say, innovators are change makers. Now, some of you here are familiar with the Trinity Exams, some not. So, I will very briefly talk about the format of the exam. Then I will talk about the international value of CEFR bands from pre-A1 to C2. And then we'll deep dive into the techniques. I'm sure all of you are waiting for that. And that is the reason we are having this webinar today, to assist you on your journey as teachers. Well, the exam takes the form of a one-to-one, face-to-face oral assessment of a candidate with an examiner. The exam at each stage replicates real life exchanges in which the examiner and the candidate, they exchange information, they share ideas, opinions, and sometimes they even debate on topical issues. Let me tell you, friends, Jessie has a structured stepway, increasing in complexity, to take an absolute beginner to the level of a native speaker. Now, the 12 graded exams in spoken English are very well organized, in a very structured way. The 4 stages are designed to give a framework for the teaching and learning progression. The tasks at every stage allow the candidate to demonstrate his ability to communicate in different ways, in a number of discourse types. At the initial stage, the exam is initiated, the conduct is initiated by the examiner. Now let me give you a peep into the international value of it. Grades 2 and 3 are mapped to the first common reference level. This is for basic users in the CEFR, Common European Framework of Reference. The exams in the elementary stage, that's the grades 4, 5, and 6, provide a bridge between the first and second common reference level. This is for basic users to independent users. Exams at the intermediate stage, that is 7, 8, 9, is mapped to the second common reference level, and this is for independent speakers. And finally, exams at the advanced stage are mapped to the third common reference level, and this is for proficient speakers of the language. You see the progression? Now, what are the pedagogic benefits of Jessie? They definitely motivate learners. You will understand this when we're doing the techniques. They create a pathway that allows individual development. It definitely helps children build their confidence, and it's all about the real world. It will have an undeniably profound effect on the candidates. Let's have a look at the different levels and note the language progression and relevance to real life. Now here, I'm not going to go through 12 grades. I will only do the first, second, and third grade in a little detail. I'll show it to you because that's the foundation. And then we will do techniques to reflect the remaining grades. Now look at the language specifications for grade 1. You'll notice in the lexical area, it's all about the immediate environment. Parts of the face and body, common animals, whatever. Now, at this stage, the candidate is expected to demonstrate the communicative skills and meet the language requirements that are specified. Now, look at the language requirements here. For a beginner at grade 1, the child has to listen, understand, and respond non-verbally. Then, when he gets the confidence, he'll listen, understand, and respond verbally using common nouns, adjectives, determiners, and pronouns. Have a look at the lexical items of grade 2. In addition to the previous grades, the candidate is expected to demonstrate the communicative skills and meet the requirements, the language requirements of the grade. Have a look at the language requirements, and they will be reflected in the techniques later. Normally, phonology is associated with the pronunciation of a word. Our dictionary says the same thing, but we would like to take phonology to a more meaningful level. So, it's not only pronunciation of the words relevant to the lexical areas, but also basic stress and intonation patterns of short sentences and simple questions. We also encourage the use of contractions because contractions are a necessary aspect of the spoken language. So we begin with contractions in grade 2. Now briefly look at grade 3. You will notice the progression. Can you see that? How the intensity increases? At this stage, the candidate is expected to meet the requirements of the previous stage and then demonstrate the communicative skills and meet the language requirements stated for the grade. In this grade, they exchange information about everyday life and activities using simple sentence patterns and phrases to communicate effectively. Now let's look at the responses with a magnifying glass. You're familiar with this too. Wonder if I can. Wish I can. Maybe I can. And with Trinity, we'll convert it to surely I can. Yes, that's our motto. Incidentally, when the children just begin school, they only speak in their mother tongue. They think only in their mother tongue. How do you steer a child towards a language that is foreign to him? Well, we have the answer. We have a host of techniques to deal with the situation. Our teachers are the game changers. When the students finish school and are launched into the world to fend for themselves in college, once again they experience these same feelings. Wonder if I can make the mark. Wish I could go to that college. Maybe I can. Let me try my luck. Having been equipped with the 21st century skills in school, they will comfortably transform these responses to surely I can. And once they enter the professional world, where you and I are, well, I'm sure you also must be experiencing these feelings. They will once again experience these feelings. We as teachers, rightly called game changers, must prepare them for the world. Every level of Trinity is a small step further. It takes care of every aspect of the language. The student's confidence will dramatically improve. So now let's plunge into the activities. The techniques. The most famous technique of all is the storytelling technique. I'm sure all of you have been using it for years. From the time I was little also, our teachers only used the storytelling technique. Well, there are a host of techniques besides that. We have a lot of videos on the website to help you understand more about these techniques. There's one video titled Teaching Tips for Grade 3. In that, I have explained in detail how the storytelling technique can help you develop the different language functions in the child. So I'm not going to repeat it today. Stories transport you to a magical world, but they're also a very effective means of communication. Now, today, I will do a sampling of the techniques of different levels. If you require more support, do get in touch with us. We can organize webinars, workshops, which are tailor-made. We are here to assist you on your journey. That's what I began my talk with. Now, all we have to do is create the right environment. And in the process, we have to create activities, use apparatus, and most importantly, use imagination and innovation. So now, look at this picture. I'm told that we are 1,000 people here present for this webinar, and about 27 countries are also represented here. Well, if 1,000 of you look at this picture, I will get 1,000 reactions and 1,000 responses. Why? 1,000 different reactions and different responses. Why? Because this picture is not just a picture. It tells a story. If you look at the picture, you can use your imagination and try to say what could have happened before the scene, what's happening now, and what might happen after the scene. So your picture has to be chosen in such a way. It has to be creative enough. So if you show this to the children, don't you think they will get excited? Of course. We don't teach children how to speak English. We create the environment. The children react. They respond. And our job as teachers is to supply them with the necessary vocabulary and the language grammar that is required. So now, I'd like to take you through a detailed discussion with this little activity, so it'll be clear in your minds how you fulfill all those functions that you saw in grades 1, 2, and 3. The same picture can be used for all 3 grades differently. Well, who do you think is the star of this picture? I'm sure everyone is going to say the cat. Yes, look at him. Look at his confidence. So if you're taking a grade 1 child, you will discuss about common animals. The cat is a common animal. But if you're training grade 2 children, our topic in grade 2 is pets. And this cat is the pet of this family. So we can certainly start a discussion about pets, and all the children will want to talk about their pets. Aha. Will all the children discuss about the pets? Incidentally, not everybody has a pet. But do you think they're going to sit quiet and miss out on all the fun and excitement of the activity? Certainly not. They will talk about their friend's pet or about their neighbor's pet, but talk they will. Why? Because you have created the excitement there. That's important. So they will have a little discussion about pets. Now the teacher can ask a very important question. Do you think the cat will drink up all the milk? I'd love all of you to think of an answer for this. Every single one of you can think of an answer. Do you think the cat will drink up all the milk? Now the child has to think of an answer and give a reason for his answer. I'll share with you some of the answers that I think some of the kids would give. One child might say, oh, he's a very faithful cat. He's the pet cat. He will take the milk and keep it in the kitchen on the table. Now, while saying that, he has used prepositions in the kitchen, on the table. Incidentally, in grade 2, we talk about rooms in the house. So we can start up a discussion about the rooms in the house. He kept it in the kitchen. Why didn't he keep it in the bedroom under the bed? Now you see how I'm bringing out the prepositions? Because they learn prepositions, but we don't teach it to them separately as a grammar function. No. It comes up naturally. The teacher will ask, why didn't he keep it under the bed? So in this manner, we have a little discussion on rooms in the house. We can talk about items you find in every room. So it can go on. A second child might say, I think he will drink a little and he will leave a little. He won't finish all. The third child might say, he's only a cat. How can he carry such a heavy vessel? I think he will drop it down and all the milk will be spilled on the floor. What have I done? I've moved them away from this picture and I have created another scene. Another scene where everybody's involved. The poor cat is so frightened because he has dropped the milk. Choose one of the children to take the part of the cat. They'll be only too happy to do it. So one child will be standing there playing the part of the cat, and all the children are very excited about helping the cat mop up the milk. You see the language I'm using? Kids won't know this language. But the teacher has to use the vocabulary required, and so they discuss how they will mop up the milk, clean up the place, and help the cat. Indirectly, we're also teaching them values, how to help somebody who's distressed. Now, we can also talk about the family. As I told you, we can use the same picture for different topics. Where's mother? So the child will say, mother is sleeping on the bed. Do you notice the present continuous tense word? Sleeping, and he's used a preposition on the bed. So carry on the conversation. why is mother sleeping? And the child might say, she was busy cooking in the kitchen. Once again, another present continuous word, cooking. She was busy cooking in the kitchen. She's tired, so now she's sleeping on the bed. A second child might say, this is lockdown. The servant is not coming. No servant is coming. So mother had to do the jadu katka. You notice the child has used his mother tongue. Mother had to do the jadu katka. What is jadu katka? Now, the teacher very gently gets the child to substitute those mother tongue words with the English word. And so she'll say, oh, mother had to do the sweeping swabbing. And the child will repeat, yes, mother had to do the sweeping swabbing. You see how non-threateningly they are learning the language. He feels happy. That was his contribution to the discussion. So he doesn't feel stifled to, oh, I don't know what to say. Say it in your mother tongue, no problem. Teacher will give you the substitute. Where's father? Can you see father in the picture? There's no father there. Where are the fathers? Obviously, the fathers are out at work. So once again, we have our topic on jobs people do. Many mothers also go to work. So we can talk about jobs that the parents do. We can talk about the preposition of time here. What time they go at 8. They go by bus. There are so many prepositions that come into play. So have a little discussion on the jobs people do. And here you have the sweet little milkman. So we can talk about community helpers as well. Now, can you see any children in the picture? No children. Where are the children? The picture does not tell you the answer. So there is no right answer or wrong answer to this. They can say whatever they want. This is the bottom line, my dear friends. They should not feel, oh, I don't know the answer. There is no right answer or wrong answer. Say what you feel. Where are the children? Some might say the children have gone to school. Some might say the children are playing in the garden with their friends. Okay, start a little discussion about friends. My best friend, grade 2, has that as a topic. So you see how we are using different topics with the same picture. Now, by the time they reach grade 3, they have a strong foundation. Grades 1 and 2 is a strong foundation. So when they reach grade 3, we have something that's more demanding. The assessment criteria is mapped to the existing curriculum, adding value to existing curriculums to grow the everyday use of English in listening and speaking while in a regular class. When I talk about the assessment criteria, I'm talking about the GCSE exams. But otherwise, other teachers, you are most welcome to use this activity. Now, each child, we break them up into small groups, and each child has to think of a word, a doing word. So there they are, ready with their words. Keep it in your mind. Don't tell anybody your word. And teacher begins the story. Now, incidentally, in grade 3, they have to learn how to use the past tense of the verb to be. But how do we do it? Teacher starts the story. There was once a little girl. Her name was Susan. One day, when Susan was playing in the garden, suddenly she saw, and she'll stop, and she'll point to the first child. The first child has the word running in his mind. He has to continue the story using his word. So he'll say, suddenly she saw her brother running into the garden with a big cut. And then he'll point to the next child. The next child has the word looking in his head. So he continues the story. So you see the excitement. They have to be creative, imaginative. And the teacher is there to guide them. So each child, continues the story using the word he has chosen to keep in his mind. By the time we reach the last child, we've got a little scene ready. The teacher is responsible to weave the sentences together to make it look like a little scene. When the last child has finished her contribution, teacher will illustrate it on the board. She'll actually draw little Susan there in the garden and whatever happened. The children look at the illustration and narrate the story. They can give it a title. Can you imagine if we have small little groups of 5 children or 6 children in a class? Look at the number of stories we can come up with. And every time they do this activity, they can think of different action words. So this is a very exciting activity which anyone can do. And as I want to repeat, it is part of the curriculum. So don't think it's an out-of-class activity. We work with all boards. We offer blended learning pathways and unique school plans, as well as teaching guidance. It's not enough if we give you some fancy plans and leave you to the wolves. No. Teaching guidance is our motto, our forte. And we are here to assist you in any way you want. Our forte is teaching, the teaching fraternity. Now, when the students reach middle school, we stress on development of language skills. Now, I want you to observe the progression. And again, relevance to real life. So by the time they reach grade 5, they must know how to inform and predict, give reasons, talk about events in the indefinite and definite past. So show them a picture. Here's a picture. We've got to develop their observation skills as well. So when you ask them what caused the accident, they have to look out, watch it, properly observe the picture. Only then they will understand what might have caused the accident. And do you think it could have been averted? So a little discussion can happen there. What do you think is happening now in the picture? What do you think will happen next? You see the grammar functions that are coming on? I've not written them there. I've only written the language functions, but there are grammar functions that go hand in hand with the language functions. So what do you think will happen next and why? So they learn to give reasons, and it won't be a unanimous reason. Every child might have a different reason. Give them the freedom to give whatever reason they think best. Jessie, that is our graded exams in spoken English, is not only the engine driving English language, it prepares you for real life conversations, structured in a way that includes linguistics and communicative competence. All these are big words. We will actually do it and see how it becomes a reality with the kids. Let me show you an example that will demonstrate these skills. You know, by the time they reach class 8, how they are. Class 8 and 9. They are ready for adventure and crime and, all kinds of very imaginative things. Let me tell you one thing. English is a language. Communication, a skill. Don't mix up the two things. It's very important. So here we have the children are broken up into 3 groups, and each group is given a bag. And in that bag, we've put some clues. Now you won't be able to see, I've written those clues on strips of paper and put in the bag. You won't know what those clues are. So for your benefit, I have written them on the screen there. The first bag will have an envelope, a book, a knife, medicine, a blood-stained handkerchief. Sounds very gory, And the children get very excited. I've actually done this with the class 8 students. The second one has a stuffed toy, damp rag, broken lamp, note, and tire marks. And the third bag has a computer file, password, formulae, life-saving drug, and a scribbled notepad. Now, you'll notice that each bag has clues which suggest a different scene. So you see, I have created it in such a way that there will be 3 different scenes. So when they come up with their presentation, along with dialogues, we will have 3 separate scenes using the clues that they were given. Now here's where they learn how to express abstract ideas. I've thrown them into a situation, and so automatically they begin to use these language functions. They express regrets, express assumptions, and evaluate options. It is a very exciting activity, and it was real fun. I enjoyed myself while doing this with the students. It requires a lot of speculation here, okay? Remember that. Now, here's another example for a senior class. If women ruled the world, there would be no wars, just a bunch of jealous countries not talking to each other. Oh, this is an eye-catching statement sufficient to stir up everybody and create an argument. So what have they to do? What are the language functions required here? They have to develop an argument. They have to state their point of view, and they have to express beliefs discreetly. I repeat, express beliefs discreetly. This is something we have to teach the children. And it's like a debate. So you teach them the rules of a debate, and the students begin to have, and remember, when they give their point of view, they have to learn to respect the other's point of view. Look at the amount of learning that takes place. Communication skills and leadership qualities are the best predictor of occupational success. Good communication does not mean just knowing the language. That's why I'll repeat, communication skills and leadership skills can distinguish and mark the journey of one's life's achievements. These skills are the best predictor of occupational success. I say this because when you see the next slide, you're going to be surprised. Here it is, a very strong statement. Skills speak louder than degrees. How many people do we know with a string of degrees, grand ideas in their heads, but can't express themselves? They're a total failure. No matter what job you have in life, your success will be determined 5% by your academic credentials, 15% by your professional experiences, and 80% by your communication skills, my dear friends. That's why I'm in this position today. I'm a standing example. So you see, this is the secret. Develop the communication skills of the students right from the junior classes. That's why we start them right from small. Communication skills can set you apart from others. It's not only what you say, but how you say that matters. The art of communication involves making eye contact, body language, voice tonality, and being proactive. Voice tonality is a very important factor. Very often you find politicians giving speeches and they think the louder they scream, the greater the impact. No. Voice tonality is a very important factor if you want to be a good communicator. Everywhere there is change. Look at the world of science and technology. Now, this is a very interesting experience. The CEO of a company, a giant engineering company, once called his employees and told them to go beyond engineering. He coined a new word, imagineering, marrying technology with innovation via imagination. Fantastic, imagineering. And this really happened. Now, remember, he was dealing only with machines. But we are future generations. Can we be wanting? We've got to pull up our socks and remember this. So here's another very daring statement, a very daring statement. Being an expert may harm your career. As firms focus on minimal staffing, they will pay a premium for problem solvers, multitaskers, and firefighters, but not specialists. Employers increasingly want a different kind of worker with not only different skills, but also different inherent abilities. The Trinity program is designed to meet the expectations of the industry and create job-ready professionals and business-ready entrepreneurs. Are you ready? Imagine what we can do. Trinity College London and you. We are here to support you. We'll have webinars, professional development programs, videos, trainings, lesson planning, classroom activities. Do get in touch with us if you have any specific needs. We'll try and meet your needs. Remember, this is a new day. This is a new age. It's time to make changes. And the time is now. I'd like to end in the words of Albert Einstein. Creativity is intelligence having fun. So, my dear intelligent teachers, have fun. It will be tremendously beneficial if you get in touch with us. We'd like to encourage, inspire, and motivate you. Thank you.